So I was just talking about getting picked on at school a little bit because I was short, I was small. And there was these two guys. It was Mark Bayford and Andy Bull. I've known Andy Bull since I was 5 years old. We've been friends. You know, not close. Well, we were close friends at primary school. Not so. But we were close friends, quite close friends at primary school. But I mean, he used to come to all my parties at primary school. Do you remember our birthday parties, Andy Bull? If you're still about, do you remember our birthday party? We went to one of our friends' birthday parties. In fact, we were quite close. You know, we were school friends. We were all in the same class. The whole class was friendly with each other in Howdale School. Howdale School, everyone was friendly with each other. Anyway, when I was in secondary school, Hatfield School, one year, Andy Bull and Mark Bayford, I think it was, they used to sort of like take the piss out of me because I was so small and they were much taller than me. Anyway, it was just after summer's holiday, right? I came back to school after summer's holiday, walking down the corridor, first day back at school, and Andy Bull and Mark Bayford came up to me and they said, "Hello, Shorty, how are you doing?" And they tried to pat me on the head, and then they looked up, and I was about a foot taller than them. Seriously. One summer, this is true, one summer, they kept calling me Shorty because I was one of the shortest kids in class. One summer, I grew a foot. I don't know what I was doing with 3 feet at the time, but I grew about a foot. And Mark Bayford and Andy Bull came up to me and said, "Hello, Shorty, how you doing?" And then they looked up. Then they realised they had to look up at me because I was about a foot taller than them, or at least 6 inches taller than them. I think I grew about 6 inches. I don't think I grew a foot. I think I grew about 6 inches in the summer anyway. But you know, I came back to summer and they hadn't grown at all, and I had grown about sort of like 6 inches or something. Well, I'd grown about 3 or 4 inches or something in the summertime. Anyway, and yeah, they sort of said, "Hello, Shorty," and then they realised they had to look up to me because I was about, a bit taller than them. It was so funny that night. That was a great night, actually. I enjoyed that. We had a lot of fun. They only did it in fun, you know. It was only taking the piss out of me because I was short. You know, that wasn't bullying. I was just having fun with somebody. Anyway, carry on. At school. So actually, I never really got bullied by anybody at school. Actually, there was one guy who tried threatening me in class one day. One of the bullies of the same year, he used to pick on me, and many of the other little lads. I really was quite small until I hit puberty with a bang and grew about a foot in one summer. Still not sure why I had 3 feet though. Actually, it was probably about 2 or 3 inches. Probably wasn't a foot. It was probably about 3 inches or something like that. And Gavin would try to pinch my bag of crisps or sweets occasionally for a few weeks. Usually I just walked away or pushed past him in the corridor. In the first year or two at Hatfield School, we were actually quite good friends for a while. But I think we had an argument or something like that anyway. Hard to remember every detail so far back in time. Anyway, after a couple of months of his endless jibing, I was beginning to get a little annoyed with this pesky little rodent. Sorry. Ouch. This pesky little rodent. I was beginning to get annoyed. I was getting a bit annoyed with this pesky little blighter. Actually, we were near enough the same height at the time. Anyway, it was an early summer's day, not quite sure what year it was, late 1970s for sure, and we were in biology class, dissecting a frog or something like that. I think it was a frog. I think we were dissecting a frog that day because we dissected a few amphibians. Wasn't alive at the time, unfortunately, but that would have been fun, wouldn't it? Dissecting a living frog. Anyway, I think we were dissecting a frog or something like that. Dissecting something. Anyway, he threw his frog at me and it landed in my face. I stood up, walked over to his desk and stood behind him.